Look at that, guys, and I'm thinking I don't know where they could pick points up, especially with the sort of confidence that they're in at the moment.
But like you said, Leeds tonight are probably watching this thinking we've got a wounded animal here. You know, we've got a chance in the semi-final, whereas Chelsea going into a semi-final against Leeds, no disrespect, with an opportunity to hit a final, they should be licking their lips, ready to go. But this is a bit of a wounded Chelsea squad at this moment in time. And you've been there, Steve, as well. Confidence and momentum is a big thing. Yeah. So going in tomorrow's training, all of a sudden, is not the same vibe as it is when you're on a good run or good off the back of a good result. So it's going to be a tough few days for the manager and for the squad to galvanise themselves and get themselves fired up for this semi-final, because this, like I said, the FA Cup now is a strong word, a must, you know, to save the season in some ways. But it needs to be a hell of a lot better than what it was tonight.
What has happened to Chelsea? Another defeat. 3-0 they have lost in the Premier League at Brighton tonight. It is 5 straight defeats without scoring in the league for the first time since 1912. 2 years before World War I broke out was the last time Chelsea were on a run like this in league football. I promise you, Brighton fans, we will focus on what this means for you. It's a brilliant story for Brighton. They've gone above Chelsea into the top 6. But I want to start with Chelsea. Tim, just before the end, you said that Chelsea had been given a footballing lesson tonight by Brighton. In what way?
In what way? In every way. In style, in build-up with possession, organisation out of possession. It was a team playing against a bunch of individuals who had no spirit, no character. They stood at the end there. I've just watched them at the end of the game going over to the Chelsea fans. Half of them have already left the stadium, and they left probably 20 minutes ago. This game was done and dusted after the second goal went in the second half. He played 5 at the back in the first half. It was embarrassing. The amount of room that Brighton had just popped it through them. Second half was a little bit better. The start of the second half, he went with 4 at the back.
Should he have changed that sooner?
Absolutely. He's got to recognise that sooner, that they never got... He was lucky at half-time that it was only 1.
I think Liam Rosenior is a terrible manager.
Listen, I don't think he's terrible, but I do. As I said yesterday, I think the Chelsea Football Club is just a bit big for him. Like, Ruben Amorim is not an awful manager, but Man United was too big for him. He's not an awful manager.
You say Man United was too big, but Ruben Amorim could have quite easily, if he was a good manager, seen the formation wasn't working and changed it to a 4.
So you think he's an awful manager?
No, I do think he's an awful manager.
No, but I don't understand.
But why a good manager, even a non-league manager, even someone playing Football Manager, would have seen, results aren't working, let's change it. And I can watch the game, Man United, I can watch through at the back, and I've never been a manager, I've never been a player, but even I know that 3 doesn't work. And if he was a good manager, he would have worked it out himself.
So I just think, because he got success at Sporting, playing the same system.
Man United are 3rd, with the same players.
And that's my point.
And Michael Carrick ain't going to be manager of the season.
No, but I think that the club for Ruben Amorim was just too big for him. That's why he didn't get results.
Mate, give it a go.
But he's not a bad
Play 4 at the back, mate.
He's not a bad manager.
But he is a bad manager.
No, I just think
he's a bad manager. Play 4 at the back, mate.
No, it's not. I don't think he's a bad manager.
He dropped Kobbie Mainoo.
And
Kobbie's been brilliant since he came back.
Okay, but that's just maybe... But that might be partly down to Ruben Amorim and partly down to Kobe's attitude and his brother wearing stupid T-shirts.
Well, why is his attitude like that? Because he's fallen out with the manager?
No. That's not always the manager's fault. Sometimes, and that's the problem.
I'm sorry, mate. Ruben Amorim has been shown to have been a charlatan for the way Man United are playing now with the same players under a manager with very little experience in the Premier League.
Yeah, but my point is that at Sporting, he was very good, which is why he got that managerial job. Now, Man United wouldn't have given it to him if he was an awful manager.
I don't know. The managers do get jobs if they're awful.
Like who? Give me one example.
Ange Postecoglou.
He's obviously not awful. He won Spurs' trophy the first time.
That's the anomaly.
Well, it's not an anomaly.
Okay, Liam Rosenior. I think he's an awful manager.
Okay, I don't think he's awful because he wasn't awful at Strasbourg.
But I don't know. You don't know Strasbourg's history.
My point is,
how did he go on to Strasbourg?
He got that job off the back of being under the blue co-ownership. He probably did.
That's why he got it.
But he also got them into Europe. Strasbourg.
So look, he got the job because they want a puppet. They want someone that they can...
Strasbourg's the first time in 40 years they got into Europe.
Right. He got the job because Chelsea want a manager where they can call the shots and they can pull the strings. That's why he got it. That's why they probably got rid of Thomas Tuchel. That's why they probably don't want a big name manager, because a big name manager would go in and go, no, I'm doing it my way.
Okay.
In this case, they've got a manager who they can go, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah, potentially.
And we saw that when Enzo had a 3 or 4 game ban, and in his press conference he said, we've decided. Now, a great manager or a top manager or someone that's in charge of a club will never use the word we've decided. I've decided. I'm in charge. Buck stops with me.
In many respects, did that feel like the worst of the lot in terms of the performance?
By far. I was unacceptable. in every aspect of the game, unacceptable in attitude. I keep coming out and defending the players. That's indefensible, that performance tonight. The amount of the goals we conceded, the amount of duels that we lost, the lack of intensity in the team. And yeah, something needs to change drastically here right now.
What have you said to the players? Why do you think they put that performance in?
Why? We need to look in the mirror. I need to look in the mirror, but I can't keep coming out here defending some of the things that we're seeing. Manchester United, genuinely, the result wasn't there. Felt we turned a corner, but the general attitude, spirit was lacking, determination. With maybe 3 or 4 out of the 11. That's nowhere near enough for this club. It's nowhere near enough. I can't come out and lie. I'll tell the truth. That was an unacceptable performance in every area.